Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life. Today I wanted to give an update on my own personal lawn. I've had some people that sort of been following me as far as my transforming my lawn, which is not looking that great at the moment, but it's showing a lot of progress and I wanted to give you an update. So here's the story if you're just joining in. I moved into this house about 6 months ago. The lawn had been neglected basically forever. It was really had every weed that you could just about imagine in our area. There's not really a whole lot of grass to be found, but there was a little bit of Bermuda grass, just common Bermuda, which grows naturally out in just about every cow pasture in Alabama. So I sprayed the lawn in the winter and trying to kill as much as I could and leave the Bermuda grass. And I'll be honest with you, about March, I was just kind of looking around real closely seeing, do I have any Bermuda grass at all? And there was very little to be found. But Bermuda grass, this common Bermuda, it just is very aggressive. It grows extremely fast. And now we are in early May at the filming of this video, and I want to show you the lawn. And it may not look like much, but if you hadn't been following along and don't know what I started with and can't see the potential, then you're not gonna think much of it. But just for me, out here looking at this yard almost on a daily basis, I can tell you there's a significant amount more Bermuda than there was before. And knowing that the Bermuda grass is just now getting going, it's gonna be growing over the next several months and actually picking up the pace, growing a lot more aggressively when we get into June, July, and August. So anyway, let's take a look at the yard. I'll talk a little bit about it. So you look over here, I've got a little bit of centipede grass, and it actually looks pretty decent and filled in okay. And then you've got a good bit of Bermuda filling in over here on this side, some brush we cleared off. It's just amazing to me how fast the Bermuda spreads. You can see how it's spreading right here, and just, you know, all this is gonna fill in, I would think, rather quickly. But just about everything green you see is Bermuda grass. Now there is some crabgrass here. Now that's the centipede. But if you look here at the larger portion of the yard, there's my landscape project I did not too long ago. I kind of went a little heavy on the roses. I may have to back off on that later. But anyway, it's coming together. A lot of crabgrass. As you can see here, I did not use a pre-emergent because I was really trying to get the Bermuda grass to spread. So this is all crabgrass basically there. But come over here and I can show you where I've almost got sort of solid Bermuda. I mean, that's all Bermuda with the exception of that. That's the Poa annua that's dying out because of the heat. But this is all, you know, all Bermuda here. And there's quite a bit of Bermuda. Like I said, what you're seeing right now is Bermuda and crabgrass. That's about it, because I sprayed a post-emergent. I used a product called Change Up I use a lot. I had a bunch of broadleaf stuff, all kinds of stuff from not using a pre-emergent. So I pretty much cleaned up all that. Now you got Bermuda and crabgrass. Well, now if you look up here, you can see a lot of green over here. And if you go over here, there's not much green. And that is because instead of having much Bermuda grass up here, this top half of the yard was covered with a lot of carpet grass. And so I basically killed off the carpet grass, and there's very little Bermuda here. You know, when you look at it from a distance, if you didn't know what was going on or hadn't gone on this yard, I would just look at this and say, oh, that yard looks bad. But for me, I know what it looked like before, and I'm fine leaving big, huge bare spots and killing off a lot of stuff, knowing that the Bermuda grass is gonna fill in. But let me give you an update. So I've sitting here looking at my yard, I'm thinking, you know, we want to build a house on the property and do something with this house, rent it or sell it. But, you know, as I thought about this yard, I thought, you know what? If I'm gonna make this yard right, now's the time to do it. Or I say make it right, I mean, I like it to be nice and level. Now my property's fairly flat, but it's got a bunch of lumps and humps in it. It's just an old house. It was, you know, never probably graded out properly when they built it, never sodded, I would imagine. So it's just a lumpy yard, even though it is reasonably flat. Well, I was talking to some friends of mine who are landscapers, and I said, you know, what do you think I should do? What if I got a load of dirt brought in here and then put it out there in different areas with a tractor and then kind of drug it like you would a baseball infield? You know, get me a chain link fence with some weight on it and sort of drag it and fill in the low spots. And as that Bermuda is really going to be spreading over the next few months, I think that Bermuda would fill in. And again, my goal is I think by the end of the summer this thing could look like a normal yard by then, and then next year I can treat it like a normal yard, put my pre-emerge out and things that I didn't do this year. Well, I talked to one guy, he said, I said, is that, you know, the best way to approach this, to put the dirt out there and drag it? You know, he said, well, that would work. He said, another option, he's got a skid steer. He said, I've got a Harley rake for my skid steer. Well, I didn't know what a Harley rake was. He said, just YouTube it and watch a video. Well, a Harley rake basically is an attachment, goes on a skid steer, and it's a wheel that has teeth on it. And basically what it does is just tilling up your yard and making it level at the same time, kind of rolling it and tilling it very shallow, not tilling it like you would till a garden deeper, but just very shallow tilling of the lawn. And he said, now doing that, he said, you're gonna basically lose all your grass, you know. And I thought, well, I hate to do that, just now getting some grass going, but to me that sounds easier than bringing in dirt and paying for dirt and having to move dirt around and then drag the dirt. I said, if I could just till it one time and make it all level, then I could come in with some common Bermuda seed, which is real cheap. And if I can get that seed started, then I can, you know, be back to where I'm at now sooner than later, except with a perfectly flat level yard. I say perfectly, you know, much improved without the lumps and bumps. And I just think if I'm gonna do it, I might as well go on and do it this year. So that's kind of put a stop to my initial plan of just renovating what was here, which I do think would have worked. I think by September I would have had almost complete coverage of this Bermuda, but it would have had lumps and bumps in it, which I don't want. So that's the update on the yard. Got a lot of other stuff going on here on the property, hoping to get all these trees cleared off, or at least the vast majority of them. Sooner than later, have a guy coming in with a big machine that's gonna mulch them up, I think. So the next update hopefully will be with maybe you're clearing off those trees or having somebody come in with a Harley rake. I like to get some video of that to see that thing in action. And then I'll have to go and plant the grass seed, common Bermuda, I guess is what I'm gonna go with, and then watch it spread and get that stuff growing again. So kind of one step backwards to hopefully take 2 or 3 steps forward. That's the update. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Creel. If you haven't done so, I'd encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I've got over 500 videos. Love engaging with you in the comments. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.